My dear reader, the various letters that are herewithin contained were never intended for public consumption. They are private letters, written most frequently in the heat of passion, and containing confessions, secrets, thoughts, and feelings that the letter writer would more happily have died than ever have had willingly exposed to the punishing gaze of society. However, now that all of the letter writers and other people involved in this tale are dead, in prison, or hopelessly insane, I have no compunction whatsoever at taking the lot of them, arranging them in their sequence of events, and presenting them to you, my discerning readership. The events that are chronicled herein began in the year of our Lord, 1748. It has taken me years to gather these letters, through various means such as blackmail, bribery, debauchery, and downright barbarism, from the various hands into which they had fallen. I have changed no names. I have blunted no edges. I only ask that as you read the lives of these poor souls laid bare, you do so and measure them against that most honest yardstick of all, the darkest secrets that you yourself possess. My dear reader, as I sit here in my study composing the preface to this volume, I imagine you some 276 years or so in the future, sitting in your cozy study, with your stockinged feet upon your padded ottoman, cheerfully toasting your toes in the blaze of a lovely fire in your hearth, holding in your hand the book, feeling the soft leather padding of the binding in your fingers. Your anticipation is fevered. Your imagination runs away with you. So in tune with the story you are that you could imagine, without even opening the book, what the people who populate these pages look like. With this story, that you can imagine the 5 people in the forefront of your imagination, and you can guess which one of them wrote the first letter in this anthology. I even imagine, dear reader, that on the count of 3, you shouted out, saying something identifiable like, the woman in this color, or the man in that color. 1, 2, 3! The woman in pink! I imagine one of you wearing long white sleeves, pointing purposely and calling out your guess again. 1, 2, 3.
White dress.
Yes, the woman in the white dress, I imagine you might have said. If you did, you are correct. And, dear reader, I can also imagine that you can guess which one of the remaining 4 received the first letter, and that you shout that out on the count of 3 as well. 1, 2, 3!
Mint-green pantaloons.
And, dear reader, I imagine you in your rugged sports gear of your age. Very purposefully on the count of 3, pointing and repeating your guess. 1, 2, 3!
Dark blue.
Yes, the gentleman in dark blue.
Yes.
Yes, I feel we are conversing, reader. If you guess the gentleman in dark blue, you are correct. And finally, dear reader, in your imagination, you see our first letter writer poised at her writing table, quill in hand, and you can guess what very important piece of news she has to share with someone. I imagine on the count of 3 you shout it out. 1, 2, 3!
The neighbor's manor's ablaze.
The neighbor's manor is ablaze, I think you might have said. If in fact you guessed the neighbor's manor house is ablaze, you are correct. Dear reader, open your book, sit back, and enjoy, if you can, a tale and collection of scandalous letters and dangerous liaisons.
Mademoiselle Claire to Monsieur Claude. My dearest brother, I write this with great urgency. For, as you know, the Lepin family, who lives just down the road from us, their house was ablaze. I am still sweating from the heat of the fire and coughing from the smoke. It was disastrous. Mama and I were there in our home when the Lepin family came over, quite in a frazzle. Oh, darling. Mama, do you see it?
Oh, put me out! Put me out!
Your house was ablaze. You look horrible.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, I'm aware!
That must be terrifying for you. It was terrifying for us, for now you are homeless. And you may be living with us.
That would be amazing.
But,
Dear,
Well,
they offered us a room.
I don't think I said it quite like that. But what I do understand, though, is we are the only house within miles, and we live directly across from yours.
Oh, dear.
First, we must tell you our tale of woe. Don't you want to know how the blaze was started?
Yes.
and there he went and told us a very, very long story about how the house set ablaze.
My beloved and I were toasting our toes by an open hearth.
We love toasting our toes, amongst other things.
Yes, we like a lot of foot-related activities.
My dear brother, I will spare you the rest of the details.
And then I twitched as she touched me in that spot I mentioned before, and I kicked the log. And it twirled, and tell them what happened next, my dear.
The house is ablaze!
Yes! I tried to stop it. I threw myself at it, which was not a good tactic.
So brave in that moment.
Yes.
I'm so glad these doors are preserved.
Is this what we're going to have to put up with?
This is your fault.
My fault?
You said that they could stay with us.
You smell like toast.
Butter me, my dear, butter me. But we can't be homeless, please. We need somewhere to stay, hopefully with an ample bed with a lot of sheets.
Well, we have a barn. That could work.
We have the horse's stable.
The horse's stable could work.
This will not do.
We have...
We are not animals, despite the noises we make.
I'm sorry, I was confused. What about your room?
My room.
Oh!
Your room is lovely. It's actually my favorite room in the house.
You've been to my bedroom. And that, dear brother, that was the last straw. I am done. I am leaving this house and I'm coming to you. For you see, I cannot put up with these ridiculous neighbors who set their house ablaze in my own home. So I should see you in a fortnight. I love you dearly. Your sister, Claire.
Claude Cheval, to my dearest friend, Jean-Paul Agnon. Jean-Paul, something quite interesting has occurred within my sister's household. For you see, there was a fire ablaze, and now we have new guests in their home. She had written a letter to me with much hesitation in order to have this new guests, and she has now come to stay with me. I had an interesting running in with her because the topic was somewhat unexpected regarding you. We met at my village.
Hello, brother.
Sister.
What a lovely village you live in.
Yes, yes. It is a new village here, and it shall soon come to full fruition. And I'm so happy that you come to stay with me for a moment.
Yes, I needed the peace and quiet and the fresh air. It's quite lovely.
Yes, I, of course, read your letter, and I was rather shocked at what occurred. Is everyone all right?
They shall be fine.
Well, you are welcome to stay with me as long as you wish.
Thank you, my brother. You see, I was hoping to spend more time with you. I
Yes.
do enjoy your company and your friends as well.
Very well, but know that you being my youngest sister and I are parents. Well, Papa is no longer with us, and Mama, she is Mama, of course. But I wish to support you in any way that I can, but it is time that you also face the difficulties that life has to offer. You cannot be running away from your homestead for too long. You do have guests.
We have guests, but let Mama handle them. I have been, since the moment I was born, I have been raised to be kind and a hostess and generous, and I'm ready to take it upon myself to be my own person.
A penny for the penniless.
Yes, of course. There you
Thank
are.
you. Merci, merci.
You're so kind, my brother.
Yes. Well, that brings me to another point regarding you. You are now come of age. You are of 24 years.
Some would consider that an old maid, a spinster even.
Well, have you considered what you wish to do with your future?
I have been avoiding that topic quite gravely. For you see, brother, I'm scared. I'm scared to be in a loveless marriage with a husband that goes off and does not care about returning home.
Well, you are in good luck. My friend Jean-Paul will be arriving here in a matter of days, and he has his eye on you.
Jean-Paul.
Oui?
I mean, I would not mind the reintroduction.
Well, very good. Then it shall be settled. I will write to him, telling him about your excitement, and perhaps love will flourish as these flowers and roses has flourished in the garden in the village.
Thank you, my brother.
Of course. You see, Jean-Paul, her eyes lit up, her smile grew with the very mention of you. And I hope to have planted the first seed that could germinate into a beautiful life together. Sincerely, your friend, Claude.
Jean-Paul to Claude. My dear friend, in all the world, all the people who have owed things to others, never has there been one who has owed more of a thing than I owe to you. Of all the things I have, no thing is large enough to be that thing I have. How could I ever repay you for bringing me to your home and allowing that reintroduction to your sister? And how could I ever explain the bliss on that beautiful moonlit night when I wandered out into the rose garden to see her by herself, beneath the pale moon, smelling the fragrance of the sweet roses, listening to the owls, I scarce know which is prettier, mademoiselle, the roses or you, I said.
Monsieur,
She blushed like an angel.
you startled me.
I must have startled her. Forgive me, mademoiselle, I always take the night air at this time.
As do I. My brother has planted a lovely garden.
She traipsed delicately to the rhododendron. Mademoiselle, would it be terribly forward of me if I were to proclaim at once that I have always harbored a sweetness for you?
It would be terribly forward, but I don't mind it.
Would it be equally terribly forward of me if I were to gingerly reach out a shaky fingertip? She touched my fingertip, friend. She touched it, and I felt coursing through my body that same strange, wonderful sensation as when I toast my toes.
Monsieur, I wonder, what is the life that you wish to lead? What do you see in your future?
Oh, no one has ever asked me that question, mademoiselle. For all my life, I have been told what I must do.
Same here.
But I do not wish to do what they would have me do. Why, my father expects me to inherit the seat, of course. I am the eldest son. My father expects me to manage the estate and visit the village on a Sunday and arrange for all of the domesticities of the household. I don't care for those things. Oh, and yet I imagine you would only be interested in a man if he were one who wanted to step into such a position in life.
No one has asked me either what I want with my life. I imagine myself living in a little cottage, a river behind, a small garden, a few children, and a husband that comes home every day from his work.
Claire, I need you home right now.
Just then, my friend,
Now.
an evil, horrible ogre entered!
That is my mama.
Oh, it was her mama!
These neighbors follow me everywhere. I am exhausted. They're right behind me now. You need to come home. You have to take care of the house. They don't stop. They're in every single room.
Good
take it. You come home immediately and get them out of our
Come
house.
home with us.
See?
And they took her off.
Let's use a toast.
Dear friend, I tell you, never until that moment had I really wished to live in a small cottage with a river in the back and come home every night. But your sister has planted that vision in my heart like a seed in the ground, and now no plant but that grows there. Oh, my friend. If she had 20 such mothers and 30 such singed house guests, I would do battle with them all to win her heart and to give her the life she requires. Your loving friend, Jean-Paul.
Claude to his cousin, Celeste. My dearest cousin, so much has been happening in the household lately. I have now found myself in the main house with Mama, my sister, hiding in her room, my friend Jean-Paul, madly in love, and I do wish for them to be together in peace and harmony. But these neighbors that have moved in with us, they are quite the nuisance. And I write to you in order to receive your guidance, perhaps some advice, some help of any type. It was just the other day where I found myself in the living room.
Look at all these beautiful garments they have. May we have them?
Sir, sit down, please.
Sit on our couch. We can call it our couch now. It's
Mama, please stop dragging me from my room. I just wish to be there alone.
They don't leave me alone.
Listen, I do wish to have you as invited guests here to feel at home, but I must say, frankly, that you have stepped beyond your bounds.
You mean beyond the bounds of our home? Yonder, charred to bits?
Yes.
Our family heirlooms in ash?
No need for...
Our family dog burnt to a crisp?
Everything, all of the memories that we've made in every corner of our house.
You wish to throw us out of bed, just like those that fought the fire threw us
No, I didn't. Cousin, it was such a pathetic sight, dreadful. You see, no, I do not wish to throw you out, but I just wish to set some limits upon your behavior. And not everything is yours. This was my grandmother's shawl.
I no longer have any shawls of my own.
I wish to throw them out. Be stronger.
Perhaps there's something that we could offer you.
In return for your...
You have nothing to offer us. Your house is burned up. You just said you lost everything. What could it possibly be?
We have things to offer this one.
This one?
Claire.
Yes, her name is Claire.
We can teach her things. How to have a loving relationship that keeps the fire burning.
Yes, you are practically an old maid. We can teach you tantric magic.
Tantric indeed.
We've been through every drawer in your room, and it's dreadfully boring. We can't find any implements to...
Her mother is right here.
Well, if you wish to indulge us as well, you're free to join.
What about love?
We have so much love.
Yes, this is what love is built upon. This is why we have felt so strongly these past 10 years that we've been wed. if you had this, then you could have whatever love that you want.
A love that survives beyond the burning of everything we own, because our fire for each other still burns.
Sister, come with me a moment, please.
Yes, we will be in this covenant room.
Do you wish to take upon this lesson of tantric magic?
I wish to know what love is. Mama has only told me of duties and of what I must perform and be. I do not know what it means to love someone.
But the love that they have seems rather obscene and so.
Oh, yes!
Have you never wished to feel fire, not in your house, but in your heart?
I do admit that I have yet to feel a burning passion myself, and I am a little envious of their relationship.
I think I'm too close to this conversation.
But nonetheless, my intention was to be rid of them. But if you wish for them to stay, I will invite Jean-Paul here.
You invite him here?
Yes, but you must be careful. Jean-Paul comes from another high society. If he were to find out about these tantric moments, it might ruin everything.
It might be a disgrace.
Yes.
Brother, what should I do?
Well, I say, let us be bold. Let us take upon their offer. Perhaps they would offer some use to us, after all. I do feel rather sorry for them.
I feel nothing but envy for them, and the love, and the passion, and the fire between them.
Then it is settled. Yes, my cousin, Celeste. I am writing this letter to you to invite you here and to perhaps watch out for my sister. Look after her. Be a guiding force. And perhaps true love will flourish in this house as we always intended. Sincerely, your cousin, Claude.
Celeste to Pierre. My dear Pierre, as you know, I have arrived, and I'm writing you this letter from down the hall. It is certainly no wonder why your manner did light ablaze. I do have to question your tantric practices. As you know, I studied at the same Institute of Tantra. Do not forget our days as classmates. And I would say that your position number 32 needs adjustment. Does not reach the proper... But I must say, Pierre, it has been a joy to have you as house guest, as my family has been sort of uptight for so long. But I must tell you about the recent events with my own cousin and how we did meet with a lawyer. Claire.
Oh, my dear Celeste.
I hope that you do understand why I have brought you here to see this attorney. Attorneys are a new thing. They're legal experts of some kind. You see, I'm worried about you entering into a romantic legal relationship with a man before you understand the implications.
You mean marriage?
Exactly. Something you should not take lightly. Oh, there he is. Sir.
thought it improper to introduce myself prior to you finishing your conversation.
Oh, pleasure to meet you.
It is a pleasure.
We are so pleased that we could take your legal advice, as we have heard of something. Yes, I know. This helps us. It's difficult to keep these things clean. Claire, you must see about that. The dust.
The ash from the house burned is still filling our home.
Oh, the pans. They are messy.
I am a busy man.
Yes. So, sir, it is with great urgency that we need your advice on something we understand is called a prenuptial.
Yes, an invention of mine, a prenuptial. An agreement in which a woman and a man shall be married, but they do not share their belongings with each other if something were to go amiss.
Dear, you must understand that if you are taught in the practices of Tantra, you may lose your mind. If you lose your mind in such a thing, you might lose your dowry and all that belongs to you properly. So this prenuptial perhaps is something you should consider.
Are you to be married? Who is the lucky man?
It is just a friend. It is not certain yet, but I have a question.
Yeah?
If it is love, true love, the prenuptials is not necessary, no?
It is... it's not optional.
Dear Pierre, at this moment, I could see Claire wavering. I could see her considering the sounds that she had been hearing from your room and wondering if those tantric practices would enter that medium-sized brain. Take hold and wrench all intelligence from her. Claire, you must listen to reason. What has happened to you? Have you been engaging in Tantra?
No. I have just been curious about the ways of the flesh.
Dear Pierre, I see that she has already been practically ruined.
Madam, I might remind you that if this marriage were to end in sham, you would have but no option but renounce all of your belongings, perhaps move to a cottage near a river. I know, fretful, I know.
Oh, dear sir, what about her reputation? Were a woman to lose the marriage and everything else and have to live in a small cottage by a river, she would lose her reputation as a lady.
Everything. Everything.
That sounds absolutely terrible.
Yeah, she was already losing her mind, and she was lost in a tantric gaze of some sort of mysterious hypnotic obsession. I can see it forming in front of her eyes. It was too long. Position 42.
I am a busy man.
Dear sir, after you have spoken to her...
Is she all right?
Let me see, Claire. Just a minute. I practically had to wash away the fever in her brain and her heart and the rest of her.
To be clear, if you marry and the marriage ends in shambles due to perverse thoughts of, what is the word?
Tantra?
Tantra! Then you will be resigned to live in the country in a cottage by a river.
Oh, dear. I thank you for your service. Please send me your bill. Oh. Here. And she went off to the study to write a check. Pierre, while I appreciate all of the work that you have done to enliven the tantric spirit in my dear cousin, I wish for you to please take a break, douse your spirit, and try not to let that female devil of a wife that you have lead you to any more tantric sins. Claire.
Pierre to Madame Marie. Madame Marie, I know you find a way that my wife and I carry ourselves to be quite odd. But I promise you that the tantric arts are the only thing keeping the two of us together.
Well, then stop.
Frankly, the other aspects of our relationship are on a razor's edge, and it's purely lust that pushes us through. This is what I wished to teach your daughter, so that she could have a solid marriage. Well, after our teachings, despite protest, it was finally time for her to meet with John Paul. I, of course, hid myself in a rafter to watch their conversation and see if she truly went through with the tantric arts or if she fell to propriety. She said hello, but I made a little tisk-tisk sound. This was a note to say it even louder and more selusively.
Hello.
My dear, how selusive you are.
I'm truly happy that phrase I invented is catching on.
I'm going to risk all. My darling, will you marry me?
Yes.
Oh, my love. Oh, my dearest love, you have made me the happiest man in the world.
And I the happiest woman in the world.
Claire, earlier you asked me what I wanted to do with my life. I did not get a chance to tell you, but now that you have given me your promise, and you and I are to be man and wife, you must know that I have always wanted to join the clergy. I wish to be a rector. Darling, pray with me. Oh, Lord! Bless this chaste union!
It was quite particular, because it involved these three things: a village, a soldier, and a dressmaker.
Make our home a village that I can minister to and ensure no one ever sins. Make our child, which will only be born after our 7-year period of religious waiting for sex, grow to be a soldier. I know there is one more thing I wish to say.
And then he mentioned the dressmaker.
Dressmaker! May we meet the perfect dressmaker who could secure the chastity belt to all my dear Claire's dresses. Amen, my darling! virgin heirs of my wife.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry.
Fiancé, but with a promise that cannot be revoked.
It was at this point, Marie, that my wife snuck up and pulled me down.
Do forgive me. I heard sounds that so resembled earlier sounds in other rooms in the house that sounded rather like tantra.
What you heard was the passion of the Lord!
Claire! Everyone is here!
My friend, you must know your beautiful sister has accepted me as her bride and groom to be.
Congratulatory day! Claire, your package has arrived, the chains that you ordered. It's working, huh?
Can you send this to the stable for me, please?
Oh yes, a harness.
Oh, yes.
The stable, oh, I see.
I understand. It is to symbolize your being harnessed and bondage to the Lord.
Yes, many bondages,
Yes,
especially...
Madame Marie. They continued talking, but I was not listening as I was doing activities with my wife. Later on that evening, when Claire lay in her bed, my wife and I retired to that same bed. Of course, I'd been sleeping in her bed, and she seemed, in that day's events, to have forgotten that the two of us had taken place there. We were most displeased, of course, that she was shunning our tantric arts in favor of marrying a man who wanted to be part of the clergy. How dare you!
But number 74 was your favorite.
Where's the lawyer?
I shut the window so that the people looking out from the outside could not see our private conversation.
I feel torn. I thought I loved Jean-Paul. I thought that we wanted the same life together. But now, this tantra has torn us apart.
Oh, Claire.
Tell me, besides the passion and the heat, what keeps the two of you together in marriage? What do you speak of besides the lust of the flesh? What else do you share in common? What are your hopes and dreams?
Darling, do you have anything?
We like food.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we smear it all over each other. Claire, quite frankly, all those things don't matter. And I can see that you love this man, but he has this foolish notion of going to the clergy. You must use what we've taught you to pull him from that. Use your loins, seduce him to our side, and make him happy.
This is your duty.
Claire, would you please leave your room? There's something we must do. Well, I'll spare you the details, Marie, unless you really want to know.
I've heard it all.
Quite frankly, I got carried away with this letter, forgetting that you, of course, were Claire's mother. Hoping you are not too scarred. Kiss, kiss. Here.
Dear John Paul. I am writing to you from the only room in the house where they haven't found to fornicate. I had hoped, as one does, because I am the mother I know this is brief, and I'd love to see you in person, but I can't get up. Marie.
What the devil happened to my inkwell? How did it get here? There are demons aplenty afloat. Jean-Paul to Claude. Claude, I know not what cause I have given my heavenly Father to raise a demon from hell against me. But you must know that I entered that rose garden. That same garden where first I saw my angel Claire. There she was again. But this time, a glint in her eye that I did not recognize. A certain shimmer to her shoulders. And when she looked at me, a certain smile on her lips that seemed not loving, but cerusial. Are you all right, my darling?
No, sir.
She beckoned me as I have only read about in novels I never read.
Your coat is askew. Let me fix it for you.
You might have taken too much air, my darling. Perhaps we should visit the baptismal pool and pray.
Come. I love to be here in the rose garden and smell the beautiful roses' hair. Take this in.
And when she said in, I knew at once what had happened. Tundra! Tundra! Dear Claire, you have been tundravized!
My love, it is for you. It is for us.
Are you still chaste?
Yes.
But what about the 7 years of waiting for sex that we must obey after our marriage?
Why must we obey this?
It is God's law. Be solucious. Be solucious. Who the hell was that?
Maybe it's the voice of the spirits.
I knew the spirits were sent to haunt me.
No, these are good spirits. Ones that are telling you to shake off the laws that you feel in your heart and to put on something less restrictive.
Dear Claire, would you have me betray every oath I have ever taken and every scruple I have ever scruped?
Men have done far worse for love.
The way she shook her hoop skirt, my friend, filled me with, dare I say it, filled me with lust. I took a tentative step towards her, only to feel the archangel Michael pull me from her. And there I stood, balanced precariously on the edge of a knife, one side leading to the flames of hell that have set my entire world ablaze, and the other side leading towards my reward in heaven, for which I have so long yearned. End of part 1. Dear reader, what did I do? Oh God, what did I do? Part 2.
Claude, to my sister Claire. Dearest sister, the various sexodulious exclamatories that have been taking place in our household have been rather shocking, intriguing, and worrisome. For I fear that this union that I so very much wish to take place has found an impasse. But regardless of that, there's something I must share with you of great import. I was casually walking in the rose garden behind our homestead, where I suddenly saw Jean-Paul walking, looking rather sad. I hid behind the tall bush. And behind him followed Pierre. And I will regale to you the conversation with which took place.
I love fresh roses. Reminds me of the smell of my wife.
You mustn't tell anybody that I asked to meet with you.
My lips are sealed until later, then they're wide open.
His words were like poetry.
As you might know, I am engaged to be married to the beautiful Claire.
I'm aware.
I fear, however, that I am not all that she wants. I fear she wishes me to be more sexadoodless.
I heard Claude say that, and it's a good phrase. Jean-Paul, have you wed before?
Good heavens, no! For if I were to divorce, I would defy the will of God.
Yes, well, I've been wed for 10 years now.
Yes, I've heard. Literally.
My own parents, do you mind if I sit on this bench? My own parents were the talk of the town when they divorced.
Forgive me, I was looking at your penis.
It was a sight that was hard to miss, sister.
We'll get there soon. My father took me in after the divorce, and he told me all sorts of things that a poor 7-year-old probably should not have heard.
Perhaps it is not all your fault. You were the child of a sinner.
Well, perhaps. But what he told me stuck with me. He told me that he could not please my mother. That he couldn't bring himself in the bedchamber to do such things. It disgusted him. But one day, he tried. It failed miserably. Our house caught on fire! But it's the reason why I enrolled in the Tantric Academy. Why I vowed that my own marriage would never end in that way, and that I would learn to please a woman. Because that is the true way that love finds itself. And I could show you these things, John Paul. You already taken it.
Again, your penis. Don't you see what this life has led you to? Don't you see it was the destruction of not one home, but two? Your father's home set ablaze, your home set ablaze. Don't you understand? It is the fire of hell that plagues you for your behavior.
And why are you so afraid of hell?
Because it's hot. But it's not just hot. It is your eternal soul in the most intense pain you can imagine for 7,000 eternities.
I call that a Tuesday. Torture Tuesdays, we call them. And I think it's worth it. I think the 10 years I've spent with my wife, what's kept us together is worth whatever eternal torture awaits me.
You are the demon that was sent to torment me. You are here to tempt me as our Savior was tempted on that rock. Well, I shall not be tempted. I shall overcome you and your tantric ways, and I shall live the life the Lord has prescribed for me with my dear Claire.
Then answer me one thing. If not sex, why do you want to be with her?
Do you really ask such a question?
Yes, tell me.
And that is why I write this letter to you, sister, for his answer could be the thing that sways your heart one way or the other.
Because I love her. I feel that when I am not with her, an emptiness. I feel every moment she is away from me like I am incomplete. And the only way that I can ever feel whole again is by seeing her eyes and touching her fair skin in a respectful and loving way, and knowing that she respects me and I her, and that we would anything do for the other.
And with those final words, they parted.
Anything. Curious.
Claire, the sincerity in Jean-Paul's voice touched my heart, and I now hope that I could transfer that sincerity from ink to paper to yours. For I do wish for you to be happy. Sincerely, your brother, Claude.
Mademoiselle Claire, to her dearest cousin Celeste. My dear cousin, my heart has been strewn about in many directions, for something new in me has been awoken, and at the same time, silenced. I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that I love Jean-Paul. His kindness, his eloquency, his loving touch. But I fear I have been too seduced by the sight of Tantra. I do not know how to release its bounds. Why, I could not believe when I was with the Lepons in the sewers of Paris.
Lovely, my dear. The sewers, the darkness.
I feel things I've never felt before. I see that you have been visiting the perfume maker as well.
Do you like it?
It is intoxicating.
Smell it more. Smell it deep into your loins.
Now, Claire, you know how religious folk go to their church to see their clergyman?
I'm quite aware of that, yes?
This is where we come to see our clergyman.
It has been so long.
Yes. Watch as the rats of the sewer scamper and gnaw at his precious toes.
Why did you bring such a beautiful jewel to my temple?
Oh, what's the word?
The sewers of Paris.
Tama?
Tantra.
Tantra!
Yes, father, or should we say daddy?
Yes.
Daddy Le Petit. What can I do for you children?
She would like to deepen her practice.
Deepening is, of course, the way to the Lord.
Daddy, you must teach her your ways. You must do the ancient rite.
But I sense a bit of doubt in you, child.
Claire.
As if the art of, what's the word?
Tantra.
Tantra!
It's on a lot of stimulants.
It's not a path that you wish to take. And as you, my dearest children, know, the art of Tantra will only be performed by those who wish to do so.
Daddy!
Yes, my child.
I love him! And my biggest fear is that Tantra is going to be our demise.
My child, there is a very special kind of love in the art of Tantra. One that knows not the mind, but only the body. Slippery and oiled.
Perhaps a lady's talk could help.
Yes, of course, my
Can
child.
you warm him up in the bath?
Yes, absolutely.
My dear, sit.
I know you have your internal conflicts about this. But maybe if I share my story, you will understand not only the benefits, but why this will help your sacred partnership.
Tell me more.
My mother, she could not keep the attention of my dear father. And so I vowed that I would learn how to keep a man's attention. And that I have for 10 years.
Oh.
You see, you can have all the love, but even the gentlest and the most integrity of men out there, they will be tempted. I've seen it myself. And so it is your duty as a wife to learn these arts, these sacred arts, that will keep the sanctity of marriage alive.
So what you're saying is I need love and lust.
Yes.
Stop! Oh! A rat!
Oh.
A rat just gnawed at my private bits.
I couldn't stop it. I thought they were going for my toes. They must have confused it.
My wife! No, don't look at me, I'm hideous, I can't perform.
With that, she ran away, and it left me again with the question. need both love and tantra? My dear cousin, I am torn, for I want both. Signed, seductively, Claire.
From Celeste to my cousin, Claude. Dear Claude, the last few days have been so difficult in the house. The sounds of some sort of small animal, it seemed, crying in the distance, and coming from the room of the Lapins. They left me wondering if the same thing has happened to them that had once happened to me. And my beloved tantric master, I shall tell you, I met with him recently to plead for his assistance. Yes, we met.
I haven't seen you. Oh, you were not done.
He had a habit of speaking before spoken to, even though he knew who was boss. But as I was saying, dear cousin, we met at the harvest celebration where we often found ourselves meeting discreetly.
The corn is ripe this year.
It is ripe. It is full.
You have renounced our ways.
Yes, I have.
And I cannot convince you to come, my child. Wink. Back to us.
When he winked at me, my cousin, it reminded me of those days at l'Académie d'École de Tantre. And my dear professor had taken me as his star student.
You were not done.
Once again, he spoke without being spoken to, which was always the problem in our relationship, wasn't it?
Are you speaking to me?
I am.
My child, you were the most debaucherous student I had. Oh, the positions. Oh, the locations. Oh, the body parts.
Oh, yes.
Yet, you renounced all of that. You renounced the milkshake that brings all the boys.
When he spoke of the milkshake, it nearly brought me to some involuntary movements.
You know your cousin has the same spirit as you once did.
And as he spoke and lunged, moving up and down, he repositioned his body in a salacious way. Oh, stop it, I said. Stop trying to lure me back to this life of evil and sin. You know, I loved you. I loved you more than you loved me. And all you thought is that tantric positions could save our relationship.
Yes, but you could not stand the fact that my heart could not be filled with one person's love. No, you could not stand that my love be shared with the masses, could you, my love?
No, I couldn't. You see, cousin, I loved him, and I could never love anyone else, and I only wanted him, but he always wanted more. Didn't he? I'm talking to you.
Yes, and that is why you have renounced me. And I sit like a babe in a corner of a crib, crying for your return.
Oh, with that, we walk towards the recently ripened root vegetables. And we touch them with lustfulness. Whoa, the butternut squash. So full. So rich.
Yes.
You must stay away from my cousin, Claire. And you must stop the tantric invasion of the Lacans. You must stop it, and you are the only one that can do that. And as I spoke to him, cousin, I held the butternut squash high and invoked the god Tantrika, the great scrotum god.
She has made her choice, my child, and no amount of love that I still have for you will make me push one of my children away.
She is not your child, and they are evil, and if you persist, as I shook the power of... Yes, I may not have a scrotum, but I hold one in effigy, and I hold it over you. Stay away. Take your tantra back to the sewers where it belongs. And I threw the squash towards the farmer. And I walked away, feeling free. Oh, God. You must understand how exhausting that was. To hold myself back, to resist those urges of the loin as they were. You do not know my past history, but now you do. Please keep it a secret. Do not tell your mother. Because I'm still staying at the house. Claire.
Claude to Jean-Paul. A turn of events has happened, Jean-Paul. I know that you were quite envious of Pierre's penis. But ever since the accident, it appears to have been brought down to a single nub. I heard strange sound coming out of the bedroom. Sounds of pain, but it was only Pierre's voice. I walked in to find Pierre standing on top of the bed, bound with chains from the ceiling. His arm was outstretched, and tears streaming down his face. She looked at me with eyes welcoming me to this event, but I heard strange sounds and him crying. It's something new.
Yes, we're exploring other methods at this time.
Yes. With that said, I do wish to have a moment alone with said husband.
I'll be back.
God, our marriage is over.
I grabbed the towel and wrapped it around his waist. Yes. So, if you do not have sex, then you have no marriage.
Yes, apparently some other men do other things with their hands and stuff, but I'm purely a genitalia-based lover. Without it, I'm nothing. No, you must see. Look at what I've left.
true.
What experience do you have with love?
I've never experienced it.
And neither have I.
And we are in the same boat. But I do wish for my sister to experience it, and I do feel that Jean-Paul would offer her a wonderful life filled with love. And I'm happy to have come across you in this state, not because I am a sadist, but rather because I wish for you to put upon my sister's mind in her ear that perhaps Tantra is not the way for the state that you are in now.
Yes. I am now made a eunuch.
Just in that moment, Daddy walked in.
It is I, Daddy.
Daddy, did you find the rat? Were you able to salvage it?
Yes, I put it in an ice box in my sewer. But it cannot be reattached. I'm afraid you are memberless.
And in just that moment, Mrs. Lapin walked in.
Oh, Daddy, you're here.
His penis cannot be reattached.
Mine, not mine, his.
My love.
You call me that, and yet, do you still love me? Were we ever in love?
Yes, of course.
Name one thing you love about me, then.
Your toes. Let me see them again.
Something that's not about my body.
Perhaps it's something we can explore.
What I did not tell them was that Claire was hiding behind the armoire the entire time. And she saw and heard everything, even his penis. Claire, do you see what has taken place?
What? She was there the whole time?
Yes.
Do you see this poor man-child?
I saw too much of him.
My child, look at his state. He is no longer able to partake in the arts of, what's the word?
Tantra.
Tantra!
Why can't he remember that word?
And look how his life has fallen apart. His wife cannot say a single thing that she loves about him. Is this what you want?
No! This is not what I want.
Then embrace Tantra.
No! Tantra has led to this. Tantra has led to no love. It has led to just desires of the flesh. They can't even look at each other.
Why should they? He is memberless!
Yes, he is memberless. And heartless, perhaps, now.
Have you ever felt love?
No.
Many a time.
Real love.
Yes, of course. Carnal. Greasy.
Have you ever felt that even if you could not touch that person, they held your heart in their hands? That they could see into your soul, and all you wish was just to be with one another, side by side, in a cottage, on a river at the top.
And as she spoke those words, I quickly left the room, back to my writing desk, sharing these words with you so that you may see that, yes, the love between you two is pure, and will hopefully grow into the largest of flames. P.S. I do enjoy writing the word penis. It is something I will explore. Sincerely, Claude.
Jean-Paul to Claude. Oh, God, Claude. What did I do? You must forgive me when you think of me. And you must know that while the events of your last letter were unfolding... Oh! If only I had waited one more day. But while the events of your last letter were unfolding, believing that the only way I could have a place in my sweet Claire's life was to embrace Tantra, I visited the sewers of Paris. The Tantra master was there. He was with you. He was with Claire. He is everywhere! Before you ask, Tantra. These sewers look like hell itself. I said.
They are a reflection of the human condition. Look upon the streams of waste.
And so I looked upon the streams of waste. One was the wasted opportunities of those who ever never loved. The other was crap.
My child, I see in your eyes something. I see a desire.
I am ready. I am ready to forsake God and embrace Tantra.
Did I hear someone say he's ready?
Suddenly a beautiful vision in purple, red, and white appeared.
My child, again, look upon the waste, the stream of waste.
I looked. Again, lost love and crap.
You see, this stream of waste, it's what represents the amount of complication, the amount of romantic love that lives in us all. It streams down through, it collects dirt, it collects nothing but misery, nothing but disdain, and then it falls upon our rivers.
To be honest, my friend, I had no idea what he was babbling about.
Love is a poison, do you not see?
For so entranced and beguiled was I with the beautiful woman who appeared before me. Suddenly, I could scarce remember what Claire even looked like.
Perform the rites, my child.
And we performed the rites.
Now perform the left.
We performed the left. And I am embarrassed to tell you, but we put one hand in. We took one hand out. protective layers with life. We put another hand in, and we shook it all about. We did the holy oath. It is done. And we shook it all about.
Welcome, my child.
And I removed my crucifix and tossed it into one of those two streams. I will not say which one. I'll call. And so, my friend, I write to you now in a small house far away from society, with a river running behind me, with nothing but this quill, a basket, some stuff over here, stampy thing, where I will live the rest of my life, a sinner and loveless. For you must know that when I returned from the sewer and went to Claire to show her what I had done for her, there was nothing but horror in her eyes. But I did it for you.
I don't even know what to say to you.
And so she left. And here I am, a wasted soul, and a desolate, heartbroken sinner.
From Claude to Mama. I do not know how to tell you this, Mama, but I will say it bluntly. I love penises. Sincerely.
To Claude, so do I. To my dearest Claude and my darling daughter, I know you are reading this together, so I only have two things to say. All of the fornicating in this house has taken its toll. I have had no sleep for days, months, potentially years. I met with the sewer guy. And he taught me self-tantra. Very truly yours. Your mom.
dear reader. Many, many years have passed since that final disgusting letter. And all of the people involved in the story have passed, except for I who still live alone and forsaken in this small house. Dear, dear reader, in life you shall encounter demons and angels both. Listen well to both, for they both have important words to gift you. The end. Director of Synergy Theater, and you are the best audience we ever had in the whole world. This was our closing performance of My Dearest Love. You made it one that we will never forget. Thank you for that. Our next show is in July. We open on July 18th right here. Spontaneous Soap, a full-length play in the style of a classic 1950s soap opera. We're going to do 8 performances, and we'll actually continue the story for all 8 shows. We have a postcard on the table on your way out. Grab one, stick it on your fridge, and come back and see us in July. If you think improv looks like fun, it really is. And if you wonder, wow, can I do that? You really can. And Synergy Theater teaches classes. I personally teach a beginning improv class right here in Walnut Creek through the Walnut Creek Arts and Rec Center. We're right in the middle of one right now, and the next one starts in the summer in June. So go online to the Walnut Creek Arts and Rec Center in about a month and sign up for the summer class. I would love to share improvisation with you that way as well. We are a nonprofit organization. We're very dependent upon the generosity of our patrons. That's you. On the way out, there's a big plastic bucket. If you don't mind taking a few bucks and dropping it in there for us, we'd appreciate it very much. If you'd like to make us a larger gift, grab one of those envelopes and send us a check in the mail. We would appreciate that very much as well. If you have a friend in the cast and you want to say hello to us, give us about 10 or 15 minutes to get out of these costumes. We'll meet you up by the stage door in the back. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I love each and every one of you. Good night.